Alright, I'm just going to jump right in it. I took my game to an expo, a local play expo, where everybody was there to participate. I think the main event was a Smash Brothers tournament, and they set it all up in a local mall close to me. And yeah, I took my game and set up there, and yeah, took some pictures, but you weren't supposed to, so like I was busy setting up and talking to people, and there's my setup here. Right before the place opened, I had a couple people, and I had my wife take a couple photos, and then it just got insanely busy, like with people coming up and playing the game, asking me questions about the development and how it works and all that crap. This is a still from somebody else's video I found on YouTube. You can see me in the background here. This is just when it opened, so there wasn't too many people, and then it got crazy busy. I'm back here in this area. This is somebody else's picture. I emailed them to try to get a higher resolution, but I guess their phone sucks or something. I don't know. As they're coming closer, here's that sign that was in that YouTube video, and I'm over here with some people. And then this is my view looking out, pretty much where I was with all the people that came. So this place, this mall is, I mean, much like a lot of malls nowadays, was pretty abandoned. And then they had this event there, and I wasn't sure what to think. But man, I got a really good spot, like sort of like right in the center of the hallway before it loops back around. And it was awesome. Really cool. I was surprised at how many people showed up, because this mall usually doesn't get this much traffic. And turned out really cool. And I got a lot of awesome feedback. And I can't wait to do it again. And yeah, so after that, shortly after that, I made a bunch of notes while talking to people. My voice went hoarse from talking to so many people. We were there from like 11 to 6, I think it was. And just a bunch of cool people, great feedback. So I started immediately on the feedback that they were giving me. And the number one most requested feedback was adding keyboards so that when you switch controllers to 4 new people, like I said, this was a tournament that they were doing. You could just switch all 4 controllers over, and nobody would have to touch the mouse or the keyboard to enter their names. So let me show you what that looks like. So now, this is kind of hard to show because I'm operating 4 controllers at the same time. But before, you'd have to, you go in here and you type the name in manually and then select colors, and that works if you're sitting in front of your setup in your basement and, it's the same 4 people playing over and over. But in an Expo tournament setup like it was, you're going to need to switch controllers constantly back and forth, and it needs to happen a lot faster. So, you're not going to set it up once. You're going to set it up multiple times, multiple names, multiple colors. So now what you'll do is you'll just press start on the controller, and it opens up. Everybody can type in what they want. You can, mess with the case. Let me just... And then you press start again, and it switches over to choosing your color. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, it's that simple. And then everybody presses start, it adds the name. Game on. Boom shakalaka. That's how it goes. It's really easy to, it's all the standard controls where you would, you could press reload, one character, hold it in for a second, it deletes everything. Resets the color if it's blank. If you don't care, then you know, it just generates it. So you see over here, alien. It just generates the default placeholder if you don't want to add anything. So yeah. See the next update. Added F6 free cam at the main menu for inspecting. I think I showed this before. I mainly wanted to show that that all the updates from now on are going to be geared towards a tournament style, you know, setup, which also enhances it at home, of course. It just makes it easier, more accessible for everyone. And all the notes that I gathered from that day, I'm still going through. Like I said, I'm still working full time. I just started a new job where I should actually have more time because I won't be spending hardly any time in traffic anymore. I'll be working local, which is amazing. I did the calculations. It would actually save me 45 days a year in time, which meant I was spending on an average of 45 days a year in traffic. And that's incredible. So yeah, so now when you generate a map, you can press F6, boom, and it just gets you into the, you know, you can inspect it. Go back, generate another one. Okay. You can inspect it this way, you can inspect it this way with automatics, or F6 and sort of jump around yourself. Yeah, but I think I showed that before. Let's see what else. Added a King of the Hill game mode to control randomized points on the map. I added a video of this, of a full match of this on YouTube, and I think that's, yeah, so that'll be the video directly before this video. It's just a full match of King of the Hill. It works as you'd expect.
Game on.
So what happens is, let me continue it. What happens is non-repeating zones appear throughout the map. Someone has to, let me see if I can get him to go in there. Is it this one? There we go. And yeah, so the only time you score points is when you're actually controlling it. I think it's every 5 seconds you get a point. Somebody comes in, the point doesn't change unless they're dead and you're the only one in there. So, you know, standard King of the Hill mode type stuff, and it doesn't repeat the zone. So each map, each randomization, it will be at a random order and a random spot all throughout the maps, and never the same spot twice each playthrough. So, yeah, I mean, random map generation already has it pretty dynamic in terms of not repeating the same gameplay, but then also the zones not repeating in that randomized map means that every single time you play King of the Hill in a randomly generated map, it's going to have completely unique scenarios and spots and all that. You get it. Shotgun preview model to work site. Let's check that out real quick. Like I said, work site is just a junk map where everything's sort of
Game on.
collected. Be like a museum map for later on, once, you know, once everything is finalized in the game. I'll still have this map in here, and it'll just be like sort of like a showcase of all the things that are in the game, how they work. Maybe it'll even be a tutorial. Who knows what I'll use it for, but I'll definitely keep it in there for display purposes. maybe even a sandbox physics. Who knows? It'll be a playground, basically. But anyway, this is the shotgun model that I've finished, finally. I've kind of put off the shotgun because I want to keep the actual bullet physics that are in the game now, such as, you shoot and there's an actual bullet traveling from one spot to another, and it's actually coming from the barrel. This is slow motion. And so what I want to do is basically simulate how a shotgun would act, where it shoots a bunch of beads out. Projectile. Not corny Call of Duty and Battlefield crap and Counter-Strike garbage, where it's all hit scan detection, but actual bullet physics that are physically coming out of the gun, but with a shotgun, which may be a first, another first in gaming. We'll see. I already have it worked out of how I'm going to do it. I just have to have the time to do it. Added an F8 button to two-player games to toggle back and forth between full or aspect-corrected screens. Let me put this back on the deathmatch. What was I talking about? Oh, two-player. Yeah. So now, you get your two players, you get back in here.
Game on.
What the hell is this? Oops, that's teams. Pay attention, Mike.
Game on.
So now you've got aspect correct to your screen. So, it's not... I did this mainly for people who are playing in 16:9 or 4:3 aspect ratios, to keep it uniform between 2-player and 4-player. But if you want, you can switch it back just by pressing F8 to where it splits it half and half. But as you can see, you get half of your gun chopped off, and for some people this can be a little strange. So you can just press F8 and have the same aspect ratio that you have in 4-player split screen, just to keep it uniform with what you're used to. Make sense? Blibbity, 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 blibbity. Whatever you want. It's up to you. Let's see. Yep. Okay. So that's it. Yeah, like I said, I'll have to update the site with my new priorities from the local play event. All the feedback that everyone gave me about the game. And yeah, I will be working on those first because it's just a good fit. The game, I noticed when people came up to play, everybody just immediately picked it up. They most of the stuff has been in first-person shooters before, but with this, it's more. Like I said, it's like an arena shooter. It's more based on competition, and I've always had that in mind. So now, I mean, it's just a perfect fit for this environment. I've designed it around couch gaming, and that's great, but this tournament environment is an even better fit, and so I'm going to gear everything towards that from now on, and it will enhance both at-home play and tournaments at the same time. Both crowds will benefit from it. I wish I got more pictures from this day. There's a lot of people, a lot of good conversations. Special shout out to Jacek and Connor and Steve and Nick, I want to say, and the security guard who I almost talked him into playing this game while he was working, but it's bad enough he sat down, and that was my fault. Good dude, great conversation, but I kept trying to get him to play, and then I kept forgetting that he's actually working. You know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to all those people who gave me great feedback, and that dude Connor and the people he brought like, I don't know, 6 people with him. The dude, he said he was a pro Call of Duty player, and he didn't even have to tell me that, honestly, because the way he was playing, the way him and his friends were playing, I gave all 4 controllers to them and let them go at it and just kind of watched. And I could tell by the way that they were playing that they were all pros. I mean, like, no doubt. So he didn't even have to tell me that, but I got his info, and I'm going to bounce back and forth some information with him. And Jacek, I didn't get any pictures of him because my wife, she got, kind of pushed out of the way once all these people showed up. So she walked around a little bit and didn't get any pictures. So I had to pull this picture off the internet. And but yeah, shout out to Jacek. He kept me company whenever there was a slow period. He came and sat down and talked with me. And man, sharp dude, really, really impressed me. That dude, all the insights that he had on the game, and he sort of understood the internals of what was going on without me really explaining much of it. He just got everything, which was really, really cool, and I hope to keep in touch with him. And I am booking more. Another space. Go to igotnexttoysandgames.com/local play, and they'll tell you when the next time that this setup and event is happening again, and I'll be there. So that's it. Enjoy the game and be on the lookout for those updates. See ya.